The maintenance is still going on, but Bison is out, so we're going to take a look at him. This is not like a super structured guide, by the way. This is like an overview. It's like we showed up to buy a used car, and we're just giving it a once-over. We're just checking for some rust, making sure things spin, seeing how it drives. We're not taking it to the track. So that's kind of the context for this. What we are going to look at is walk speed. We're going to look at some buttons, like whiff punish buttons, pokes, some frame data, how fast his buttons are. We're going to look at his anti-airs. How consistent they are, and can I do certain things with them. We're going to look at special moves, the properties of them, some frame data again, maybe drive rush, and then possibly, if I'm really feeling the character, we'll look at some combo theory. First thing we're going to take a look at is walk speed. Walk speed to me when I'm picking a character is very important. I like fast characters that can get in and out of ranges pretty quickly or can walk somebody down pretty well. His forward walk speed is really good, but his back walk speed is kind of slow. Not super slow, like not his Street Fighter V version slow, but it is decently slow. It's very noticeable. Like if you do left, right, it's almost like he has momentum, like he's swinging backwards. It's very strange. It would take a lot of getting used to if I played this character. I generally don't like this. I like characters whose walk speed is the same forward as it is backwards, or it is just really fast or close enough to where you don't really notice it, but you really notice it with him. It's kind of strange. Let's take a look at some of his buttons here. So we've got stand light punch, that is special cancelable, of course. It's 5 frame startup. Stand medium punch, also special cancelable, 8 frame startup. Where things start to get like a bit strange is stand heavy punch. This button is 19 frame startup. It's not special cancelable, but it is plus 17 on the punish counter, which leads me to believe that this is like a huge combo starter button for if you block like a DP or a super, because you're plus 17, so you can do like down heavy punch. You can do something huge and probably just straight up kill like an Akuma player. Let's take a look at his kicks. Stand light kick, 4 frames. Stand, what is that? Medium kick, 10 frames. It's also a really good poke. Probably a good spacing trap because people on block, this is -3, so people are gonna like press to try and take their turn back, but if you space it and they press like a jab, you can probably catch them with something. I'm thinking like crouch medium punch, or there's no way this would catch it. There's just no way this would catch anything, I don't think, but maybe like a crouch medium punch, something to lab, right? Like just set the bot to block this and then press a jab afterwards to simulate somebody taking their turn back, and then see what you can spacing trap with. But this button seems really good. Stand heavy kick, another poke, but also like a good combo starter. I think it's not special cancelable, but on punish counter it crumples, so you can do like this, and then you can do a raw drive rush and get like a pickup. I don't know what the combo would be because like the character just came out, but you can drive rush after that because it leaves them in a crumple state. It's pretty interesting. Let's check what his buttons are on block after we check his crouching buttons. I almost forgot. Crouch light punch, 4 frames seems like a good check, right? These seem like good dash checks. This seems like a good drive rush check, right? If you're close. This button, crouch medium punch, 6 frames, decently fast. Seems like a good drive rush check in general from like mid range to like decently far away. I think this is going to be a good drive rush check, very similar to maybe like Cammy's crouch medium punch. Crouch heavy punch we'll get into a little bit later, 10 frame startup, but this is, I think, his go-to anti-air, so we're going to talk about this in a little bit more detail in a second. Now let's see where his plus frames are when it comes to his buttons. Stand light punch is -2. Stand medium punch is 0. That's pretty interesting. This button, of course, is going to be plus because it takes so long to start up. So it is +1. Stand light kick is -1. Stand medium kick is -3. Stand heavy kick is -2. Crouch light kick is -2. This button is -6. Crouch medium kick is -6, which I think is actually kind of standard with most characters. It's just hard to punish because of how you space it. But because he has this button, he might be able to punish his own crouch medium kick from a decent range, because this button reaches pretty far and it's 6 frames. He might be able to punish his own crouch medium kick if they really misspace it. Sweep is -11. He also can't space this because it's -11. You can just sweep this back. I tested it earlier, but even at like max range, Luke, at least Luke can sweep it back. I don't know about the other characters. Let's see. I didn't see any plus frames in there except for stand heavy punch. Maybe his command normals. This is forward, or sorry, back heavy kick. Back heavy kick is +1. Okay. This might be a good meaty. Starts up in 10 frames. It could also be good for combos. Let me set them to punish counter. Like if you hit somebody with this, you can probably combo it to that and just straight up murder somebody. That's probably like huge damage starter. His crouching punches also don't have any plus frames. Crouch jab is -2, crouch medium punch is -1, and then this down heavy punch is -9. A couple command normals you should know about. Forward heavy punch, which is a real overhead. You can see if there says overhead / jump in. So he can do drive rush overhead like the best of them, or he can do drive rush, crouch light kick, crouch medium kick if the light kick hits. If the light kick hits, he's +8. He can go into medium kick, and you can get decent damage either way. He also has his slide still, if that's your thing. If you just want to slide at people, can't activate to make it safe like you could in 5, but he does still have it. He has back heavy kick like we talked about, probably like a combo filler or a meaty tool because it is +1 like we saw. And he has a couple target combos. He has stand medium punch into forward heavy punch, which isn't a real combo. Seems like something to just catch you off guard. It's -3 if they block the overhead. I don't know what it is if they block all of it though. Like if they block, yeah, it's just -3. I don't know why I thought it would be different. A brain fart. He has stand medium punch into down heavy kick. That's -3 on block, so that's safe on block. On hit, it is, what is that? +3. +3. So you get like strike throw mix up. I should probably clarify. You get a medium strike throw mix up if that hits, because his crouch medium punch is 6 frames, so you're +3, so there's only a 3 frame gap there, so they can't do anything. So you can do a crouch medium punch or you can do throw. Let's get into anti-airs now, because this is one of the reasons why, like, I want to play Bison, but this is one of the reasons besides the walk speed that makes me question it, and that's how consistent is this anti-air going to be in this game. Because I played Karen in 5, so I can down heavy punch with the best of them, brother, but sometimes these kind of anti-airs just lost to things randomly in 5, and it was very infuriating to not just have a DP that could beat it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to set some of like the best jump in characters to just jump in on me, and we're going to test it. So I have Luke set to do jump heavy kick, and I have him set to do jump heavy punch. Then we'll look at Ken, and then we'll probably look at Aki's jump heavy punch, which I don't think it's going to beat Aki's jump heavy punch. And I'm going to vary the timing. So you see I do it really early and it hits. How late can I do it? You can't do it like super late, right? It just straight up loses. You have to react to him going up in the air, not to him coming down. Because if you react to him coming down with a big old button like jump heavy kick, it's just going to lose. Like if I'm playing Cammy and I DP really late, like right there, it'll still beat that heavy kick, but this will not. It's just something you have to deal with if you decide to play a character like Bison. But there are some benefits to having anti-air options like this. For example, his other anti-air option, his other main anti-air option is jump medium punch and medium punch target combo, which you can juggle into like medium scissors. So if you have somebody who constantly likes to jump out of the corner, which a lot of people like to do because it's a great option, if you have a DP, generally you will cross cut and then they get out of the corner anyways, or you do jump back jab to keep them in the corner, and you don't really get that much damage, and you know it's just not that big of a reward. You get the positional advantage, or you have an air throw, which is a whole nother thing. But with Bison, you can do jump back, medium, and then you can do scissors, and you get like 20% or something like that. You get like 2,000 damage. If I could do it right. You get something like that. You could even cancel into super if you wanted to, and just kill somebody for jumping back. It's kind of similar to Chun-Li. Chun-Li can do stand heavy kick and then juggle for a bunch of damage. It's just her heavy kick is really slow, and a lot of times it will lose or like not come out in time. So most people opt to do Tensho kick. But with him, you either have to do this, or you can do that medium into scissors. Let's test it against some like really good jump-ins though, like Aki's jump heavy punch, this one. I don't expect that it's going to win unless I like, yeah. Like you have to know it's coming to even think of trying to trade with it. Or you have to rack really early to anti-air with this. But maybe, let me reset it. Oh, even that is a little tough. This is rough. The trade though, do you win the trade? Wow, I can't even get it to trade anymore. 1080, you win the trade. So you get 1080 damage, he gets 960 for the jump in off of trading crouch heavy punch. But these kind of buttons will get very annoying. You'll have to get creative with how you anti-air things like that. If you play a character like Bison, you just play a character who doesn't have a DP. Like against dive kick, for example, instead of trying to like anti-air it, because crouch heavy punch will just lose by the time you react to it, or trying to do medium punch, you have to do it really early if you want to try and contest the EX dive kick. You have to learn how to space yourself properly so that it's negative, and then you can just take your turn back, and she just kind of wastes the bar. That's kind of where your mind has to be when it comes to anti-airing this kind of stuff too. So this is like another con for me. It's not a deal breaker. Like I wouldn't just not play the character at all because his anti-airs aren't consistent. But my anti-airs in general, like just aren't that good. So to have to juggle this in my head as well as like come up with all these creative ways to keep them out of the air, I don't really know if I'm about that life, but maybe I am. Let's take a look at some of his other important stuff, like his special moves. First move I want to talk about is Psycho Crusher. This is a charge move, by the way. That's why, like, I think it's fair that it goes through fireballs. I was a little bit, like, confused because they took this away from Cammy Spin Knuckle. Like, she can't really react to fireballs anymore. You kind of have to make it a read now, but it's because that's a motion. It's not comparable. He has to hold charge in order to even have a chance to go through the fireball. She could just type it in, brother. She could just type in a quarter circle back punch and it would go through all the projectiles. So I get it now. The light one, super negative. The medium one, also super negative, double digits. Heavy one, same thing. The EX one, though, is -3. Also, if you see on the little frame data bar, the EX one is the only one with like real projectile invincibility. The light one will eat a hit of a projectile, and then it'll hit his hand. I'll just show it to you real quick. Take a look at this. You have to do it pretty quickly, though. The timing is like pretty strict. You have to react to like his hands. Like you have to react to the fireball coming out. You can't see the fireball and react to that. Because, you know, some characters like DJ, if you want to react to whether it's a feint or a real fireball, you'll usually look in the middle of the screen when he throws a projectile because you'll see the fireball and you'll know it's not a feint. But I have a feeling if you do that against him, you won't be able to use the light one. You'll have to use the EX one if you want to react that late. And that'll reach him because it's really fast and it has real projectile invincibility. So it'll just completely go through the fireball. It doesn't even take a hit. It just completely goes through it. It's invincible. So if you want, if you want to, you know, not use the bar and you have a really good read or you have really fast reactions, you can use the light one. The medium one, you can do it, but it's really hard. The heavy one, you can't. I think the heavy one is like combo filler because it takes so long to start up. You'll just get hit by the fireball. And then EX is pretty free to just go through projectiles. I think the only characters that you'll have to like spend the bar all the time is probably the ones with the feints, like JP, DJ, and probably Guile, just because his boom is so fast. But I don't know yet. I have to lab that stuff. Next, we need to talk about his knee press. So in Street Fighter 5, I was like an ultra scrub. Okay, like I can't describe to you how bad I was in Street Fighter 5. I'm not good at Street Fighter 6 by any means, but I'm a little bit better than I was. This move in 5 was the scrub killer that got me, brother. I hated this move so much. I hated how he just flipped at me. He just got in. Footsies is over, brother. He's in there. In this game, though, it's punishable. And he has to space it like pretty well. Like the light one is -4, but he has to make sure that it hits on the tip. This one, same thing. And the heavy one, same thing, -4, but he has to make sure that he spaces it. He can't just like throw it out willy-nilly. Also, little preview, you saw the EX version does like a cool little launch. Let's take a look at that. I don't know why I set him to record. I meant to stop him from blocking. All right. Nice little launch there, and I'm sure you can do like drive rush. I think they showed in the trailer, right? You can do like something like that. I don't know what the full combo is yet, but you can do drive rush, get a nice little juggle. That's a pretty cool little change. I'm guessing you combo into that off of, yeah, like a button. So you could, I mean, theoretically, you could check a drive rush with this, buffer into not heavy, EX legs if it hits, and they get a big combo, get a big drive rush combo. You just have to make sure that you actually check the drive rush because on block, this thing is like -15. Okay, let's talk about a stomp real quick. So this is down and up charge plus kick. And he's going to go up in the air, and if you do nothing, then he'll do nothing. If you press kick, he'll do this stomp. And then if the stomp hits or they block the stomp, you can press punch like I did and get the like little double heavy punch. I'll try and do it again for you real quick. And this, you can control it a little bit. And what a lot of people like to do is after they do the stomp and they start doing the heavy punch like that, they like to maneuver and do a little mix-up. Like, it will mess up a character's DP if they try to DP it, and you'll be on the other side and you get like a huge punish. It's really annoying to deal with. Okay, I'll be honest with you. It's really annoying to deal with if you are a character with a DP, because like, oh, I'll just DP him doing the follow-up, and then he'll do like mid-air trajectory change, and it'll just completely ruin what you're trying to do. The other things you can do out of the stomp is punch, and you get Devil's Reverse, where he comes down with his little hand, he touches you, and then it knocks you down. These kind of things are really like tough for me to grasp, like me as a player, to grasp like the use cases for it without actually playing the character. And like eventually, for example, like when I was learning how to play Cammy, I was like, when would I ever dive kick? And then you learn like, oh, I just dive kick sometimes when I want to get in, or sometimes when I want to continue pressure, sometimes when I want to beat buttons. These are the type of moves that you'll learn how to use as you play the character. At least that's my opinion. Another important thing to note about Stomp is you don't have to choose if it's EX or not until you're in the air. If you want to, like, I can start as a normal Stomp and then do down plus 2 kicks, and then the EX one will come out. Same thing with punch. I can do up kick and then down and 2 punches, and then it'll be EX Devil's Reverse, which is kind of cool. Like, maybe you go in the air and you see somebody doing something on the ground, like they're in mid-action, then you can change it to EX and then get the whole cutscene with the Stomp. Okay, I specifically saved this move till last because it's where the homework starts. If you're an intermediate player and you watched all the way up to this point, you're probably like, yeah, I understand the basics. Like, I'm not learning anything new here. I know how Bison plays. I played him before. I know his anti-airs are, whatever. This is where your homework starts. And if you're a new player, this is where a lot of your time is going to be spent as well. Just be patient with yourself. Let's take a look at the back fist combo. So this seems like it's going to be a pretty standard combo ender. Plants this little bomb in the opponent, and over time it will explode, or you can activate it with certain special moves like that. You can force the bomb to explode. It does not explode with scissors. I tried that earlier. Does not explode. It does explode with Psycho Crusher though. I'll try to show you that real quick. Like that. And if you'll notice, it explodes on block and on hit with these special moves, which is why things start to get a little bit more complex, and you have to get a little bit more into the numbers. The numbers get a little bit more interesting when it comes to the bomb because of how you can make yourself plus, or you can make special moves that should not be plus. And if it does hit, you are plus 46. Like, you activated the bomb, it exploded, and you're plus 46. I can't even fathom what you can do from here. You can probably do some destructive things. You probably get like a safe jump or something like that. I don't know. This is where all the labbing is going to start happening. I'll show you on block if I can. Like, I'll plant the bomb, and then I'll do... How do I make it block, though? Maybe I can do this. Maybe I'll plant the bomb, and then I'll just switch it real quick. To block all. See how it explodes? And you're plus 6. This move normally is minus 14. Okay? So this is why this character is going to take like a little bit of time to understand compared to like Akuma. Like, Akuma came out and he's a Shoto. I know how to play a Shoto. I got him the Masters in like a day. This character, I don't think that's going to be the case. I think it's going to take me a little bit longer. So like, just for reference, that move is again minus 14 and it's plus 6 with the bomb. So it adds like 20 plus frames. Like, you're 20 more frames of advantage, I think. Right? If my math is right? I'm not a mathematician. Let me know in the comments below if I'm stupid. Also, if you're not like very familiar with charge characters, the fact that his back fist combo ends in a back input because it's quarter circle back is really good, because you can just hold back the whole time and charge a Psycho Crusher, and then like ideally you wouldn't miss your input like I just did, and then like you could do a meaty Psycho Crusher to activate the bomb, and then you're like plus 6 right in their face. I think it's very intentional that is a quarter circle back input. A couple of notes about his supers. His level 1 is invincible, so you can use it as a reversal. His level 2 goes through projectiles, or I guess over projectiles, and you can control it. You can make it go closer or go further away. His level 3 also goes through projectiles, and it goes pretty far, I think. Like, yeah, it goes decently far. It's not like Cammy's where it's full screen, but it's like round start spacing. Last thing I want to talk about is his drive rush stuff. I was gonna get into a combo theory, but the video is already long enough. Also, I don't have any like in-match experience with the character yet, so what am I gonna do? Talk out of my ass for the next hour about combos that I made up in my head. Like, we'll talk about that in another video. Let's talk about drive rush stuff. So his drive rush goes pretty far, and it's like deceptively fast. He busts out in a full sprint. Look at him go. It's really fast, actually. I think the one thing that I do know that I saw some other people talking about is that he can do crouch light kick, crouch medium kick on hit, which will catch people walking back. Also is like a part of his little high-low thing that I was talking about earlier. And you can get like a decent punish off of the crouch medium kick. Also, his crouch medium kick is drive rush cancelable, like most of the top tiers. And of course, he has drive rush overhead if that's something you want to try and mess with a little bit. Speaking of drive rush, though, we should probably see what he can check drive rush with. Well, I should probably set Ryu to like press a button. I don't think it's accurate if he does like empty drive rush like that. I was thinking crouch medium punch, like I said earlier. The timing is a little tough. And it kind of trades with Ryu's. Maybe a jab? Oh, I don't know. I might just be at the wrong spacing to check something like this. It's really like, this is a side note, but it's really tilting that things like this exist in this game. Like raw drive rush into just an uncheckable button. Like at most, I feel like I'm I'm trading with it. And like Jury doing drive rush medium kick is just so tilting to me. Oh, medium kick. I don't know. Am I even winning the trade? 720. Oh, it's like even. He does spend a bar though. I don't know. I feel like crouch medium punch is maybe your go-to. Very spacing dependent and depends on what button they're drive rushing in with. Like sometimes you just want to parry. Also, crouch medium kick seemed like it worked pretty well. I was labbing it a little bit more because like I wasn't really happy with that answer. If you really want to destroy it, like crouch heavy punch is not bad for this specific button. Like it's really active and it's catching him a little bit more consistently than anything else. So if you have a really good read or the read player keeps doing that, maybe crouch heavy punch. That's not a bad. It's really slow, but it is just completely destroying it. I don't know. I just got distracted. Anyways, I think that's where we'll stop for today. My goal with this character specifically, if I play him, is to think like a little bit more creatively and like figure out how I want to play him and how I think his moves should be used and how I want to like use his moves. I feel like I get caught in that trap of, you know, this is how the character should be played. And like I'll watch somebody play and then try to completely just copy them to a T without like really understanding what I'm doing as much. So that's kind of what I'm thinking of doing with Bison. As well as the fact that I think he's a cool character. Like I've always wanted to play Bison, but in 5, he was just too slow, man. Like it was like playing with glue on your shoes. It was awful. But in this game, he actually has decent walk speed, and it seems pretty cool. I might give him a real shot. If you enjoyed this video or it helped you, please consider subscribing, and I will talk to you again very soon.